Hello and welcome to Women Reclaiming Their Health. I'm Coach Pam B, certified health and wellness coach, and I created Women Reclaiming Their Health because I wanted to see women win the war over their health despite their age, setbacks, and challenges. So I personally know what it's like to be morbidly obese to the point to where I had to have both knees replaced if I wanted to gain my mobility. So yes, so I am living, I am winning, and you can too. Okay, so mind, body, and spirit. Thank you for joining us. If you're catching us on the live, go ahead and click the StreamYard link so that we can see your name and your question. If you're catching us on the replay, that's fine too. So I usually do these just exclusively to the Women Reclaiming Their Health Facebook group. However, I decided to put it on my Facebook page because it's a new year. Hey, a lot of newness going on right now. So the topic for tonight is overcoming trauma. We have an amazing guest, and I will be sharing a bio of her here in just a moment. But let me get into my disclaimer. Any information obtained from this group is not intended to be a substitute to treat, cure, prevent disease or illness. All right, so let me get into Brandy Robinson. She is a native of Cincinnati, Ohio. She is a mother of four beautiful children and an advocate for teen girls. She attends Clayton State University with a scheduled graduation next semester and a Bachelor of Integrative Studies with a minor in psychology. Brandy is founder of a nonprofit called A World of Poise. It's an organization that helps teen girls discover their poise, power, and purpose. She served in the United States Army as a behavioral health specialist for 6 years and is now a chemical dependency counselor, assistant case manager. With 10 years of behavioral health experience and being a survivor of childhood rape, being a fatherless child, teen pregnancy, divorce, depression, and an unsuccessful suicide attempt, she became passionate about helping others overcome their trauma through fitness. This is how Trauma Fit was born. Brandy is an NASM certified personal trainer and now encourages and inspires women to face and conquer their trauma, create a healthy, healing, and build dynamic physiques while in the process. In 2020, she became an NPC fitness competitor as a token of reminder that she can conquer all things that were designed to destroy her. In her spare time, Brandy enjoys reading, working out, sleeping, traveling, spending time with her children. And guess what? She even has a book that is launching 2021. So without further ado, help me clap it up for Brandy Robinson. All right. All right. So Brandy, yeah. So we're super happy to have you on with us. We have a little bit of a history together. So yeah, I'm a little bit biased. I think you're amazing. So yeah, tell us what you enjoy most about what you do.
So I enjoy most about what I do, especially now tapping into trauma and fitness. I truly, truly enjoy the look, the joy, the ability to help other women not only identify their trauma, but overcome it and get to a place of deliverance. It is like the greatest joy for me to be able to see someone who has struggled in many instances for decades get to a place where they can find their true authentic self and bring joy back into their life. And then also they get to help, their bodies become banging, as we call it, where they feel good in the inside, they look good on the outside, and that they are just truly, truly delivered from a spiritual perspective as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So now I noticed the name of your business is Trauma Fit. That is so powerful. So tell us about that.
So Trauma Fit, when I decided to do this, fitness has been a calling for me for a long time. And when I said, okay, Father God, I want to be different. I want my fitness training to be something different. How do I stand out from the rest? And it was in my own healing journey that I discovered that I would associate both trauma and fitness in one circle, in one total package. And so I wanted the name to just represent exactly what I was doing, so there would be no confusion, and I wanted it to really, really stand out for trauma victims, so that they have a place that they know that they can come to get fit and actually deal with trauma. So the name came to me, just be direct. Exactly what it is, so there's no confusion.
Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. So you have endured so much, like many other women, but a lot of us tend to be embarrassed and we're ashamed of, our past.
Yes.
How do you think you are able to help young girls? I know you do it with the teens. How are you able to help women to stand in their power and to, live in their purpose?
Absolutely. So you're absolutely right when you say in most cases, because that is absolutely the truth. So when you have trauma, in most cases, people are very, very good at covering it up. They've been taught not to say anything for many, many generations. And they like to, in the example I use most often, sweep things under the rug. It could have happened to them, but they get a rug and they want to sweep it under the rug for years and years to come. And each moment, each second, each hour that you do that, your rug is getting piled up with dirt, turmoil, shame, embarrassment, judgment, you know what I'm saying? Resentment, anger, frustration, things like that. And so, what happens to a rug when you continuously put dirt, dust, and junk under it? It's going to get unleveled, it's going to become unbalanced, and you're going to fall because it can't be leveled if everything is piling junk after junk after junk under there. So that is what exactly what trauma fit is about. It's standing in your power. And each moment that you decide that you want to face that trauma, you take a little bit of your power and you bring it back to yourself. And so I often encourage women to stop running from the trauma, but to embrace it, to stand up to it. And so as we get into stand, since you talk about helping women get and stand into their power when dealing with trauma, I actually have a few steps that I would like to share for other women to kind of take a heed to, to not do what they have been doing in the past, which is sweeping things under the rug. So the S for stand, okay, is showing up. That's the first step. You must show up and face your trauma. You want to show up and face it. You think that you're over it. It's been many, many years, but I guarantee somewhere down, deep down inside, your actions and reactions show that there's some trauma in your past and you just don't recognize it. It oftentimes even goes into how you parent your children. So for me, I'll talk about my childhood rape. I was 14 years old. And um, because of that rape, I did not allow my daughter to spend a night anywhere. If her friends had a brother or anything in the house, she could not go. And for me, it was protection. It was protecting her, but for her, it was truly, truly isolating her from her friends. And she looked at it in a totally different light than I did. And I couldn't see that until I began my healing journey. So usually when you're in a trauma situation, there's it's spilling over somewhere in some of your reactions and actions in day-to-day life and even in your parenting. So we want to show up. We want to first stand, and in order to stand, we want to show up. The second, the T, is going to be transparency. And I'm big on that because that's the hardest piece. You allow yourself to be transparent, to say that this happened, to say that you're angry that it happened, to cry it out, to scream it out. Allow yourself that ability to be transparent about your trauma. And it doesn't have to be in front of an audience of people, even if it's within yourself, because that's how I say start out. You want to go head to head with the Lord and your trauma on your own. So you got show up, transparency. The A is going to be for acknowledge, accept, and accountability. And what I mean by that is you first have to acknowledge that the trauma happened. We talked about that. Acknowledge that it happened. You want to accept the reactions, the emotions, and the things that you have now created around it to cover it up, the pain. And then you want to be accountable for how you've allowed it to keep you bound for so long. Not that you are being accountable that this type of trauma happened to you, But like I said, more taking the accountability that you've allowed it to stay around and not deal with it as long as you have. Because when you know and you've acknowledged that it's happened, you've accepted how it's changed your life, now you can be accountable on how to change it, you know. So those are the three A's, what I call my triple A system. So what happens when you call triple A? You're towing the car, it's broken, you're towing it to a shop so that it can be fixed. So now you just done triple A. You're getting towed to a place where you can heal and come out with a brand new package.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so then we are down to the end. The end is going to be to navigate your time to allow yourself to heal and isolate yourself. So sometimes we are so busy as women that we don't navigate the time to take a shutdown to say, let me take a moment to actually deal with my own healing. So that would be the end, is navigating time to heal. And in my instance, I found it better to isolate myself for a period of time. That's being able to say no to others and not be everything for everyone else, but allowing yourself the time to isolate and heal yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And then the D in stand is going to be to demand direction, development, and your destiny. Um, you have to demand that for yourself, right? Like, demand the direction you want to go in. So now that I've accepted, acknowledged, and took accountability for this trauma, where am I going to demand myself to go with it? So now this is where you're going to be speaking life into yourself. I'm demanding that I overcome this trauma. I'm demanding that I'm no longer ashamed. It's almost like speaking those affirmations to yourself. So speak power by demanding it within yourself so that it can manifest.
Mm-hmm.
And then development, demand yourself to develop into this new woman that you want to represent, that you want to be, that you authentically want to be, allowing yourself to be free. Demand that she shows up and shows out, right? And then we are talking about just demanding a destiny. Where do you go from here? Now that you are healthy, whole, and healed, and you're working your way into a place of happiness and joy, what does your destiny look like on the other side? Because it's easy to have had some things going on in your spirit and in your life before you were healed. But now, what is the destiny of this healed, beautiful, powerful woman that stands before you today? So, those are just a few steps I wanted to share with you guys on how to stand in your power.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. I was taking notes. Wow. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, seriously, she is dropping it today. So yeah, definitely take some notes, go back and check the replay. I
Yes.
mean, truly, she's lived it. Like, this isn't something you can Google, let me tell you.
Yes.
Um, so Brandy, so now let's talk motherhood. So you're thriving in motherhood. Your children are doing amazing. I see them. They're beautiful. They're flourishing. How can women thrive in motherhood? Like, set goals. You're even a lifetime learner. You're back in school again. What can women do if they're trying to juggle motherhood and goals? Like, that can be overwhelming, don't you think?
Oh, very,
Mhm.
very overwhelming, and it's no easy thing to do. So, when I talk about motherhood, I talk about being very, very disciplined. Being a mother of four children myself, it is very demanding to always be the mother that supports them and helps them pursue their goals and their dreams, to take on such a big role in other people's lives as well. And that's what many women do. We're nurturers to many, not just one or two, but to also allow myself the ability to do me. It gets very, very challenging. And so when you talk about being a lifetime learner, for me, the immediate thing that sticks out with that is being open to changing as seasons come in your life. A lot of times people want to keep things the same. Mothers want a certain regiment, a certain um, plan of action, and it doesn't always work that way. So I always recommend that you're open to change, because as you grow and heal, you're going to naturally grow and heal differently for your children, and you're going to naturally teach them in different ways depending on the season they're in as well. So you always have to be open for change when you start talking about being a mother and tackling on so many things and being a lifetime learner. And that's exactly what it is. Because even with healing, um, you have to. I continuously am in healing, so I've gotten over a lot of my trauma, most of my trauma. I've freed myself. However, you have to be careful because the devil likes to come back, and he still knows those weaknesses, and he'll come back. And if you aren't strong, you'll fall right back into the cycle that you were in. So it's about being a lifetime learner and continuing on. So I just encourage mothers to take the time that they need. When your body needs rest, you take the rest. I've gotten really good at saying no and not feeling bad about it. So when you feel like you're overwhelmed and you need to say, hey, you know what, I just cannot do that today. I'm sorry, I can't, maybe tomorrow or maybe the weekend. Be confident in that feeling and don't feel ashamed. But
Mm-hmm.
I naturally also have and encourage my clients to take time for self, whether it's daily. Some women need a daily relief. It could be for 30 minutes a day. You shut everything off, listen to your music, read your book, go for a walk outside. I'm very big on changing your scenery so that you can navigate some things and get a clear mind. Some women, it may work for on a weekly basis. So whatever works for each individual mother as she parents, I suggest that you make sure that you are taking time for self, because that we usually put ourselves last and on the back burner, and we don't want to go a lifetime doing that because that'll work us out. So I'd say be open to change, depending on the season, and then also implementing self-care time, whether it be daily, weekly, monthly, whatever works for you.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good. Even those little pockets, like you said, half hour, 15 minutes, break it up
Yes,
if you have to. Yeah.
absolutely. They make a difference. Even if it's taking a nap,
Mhm.
because you're exhausted, take the 20-minute nap.
Mhm.
You'll feel better. So a lot of times we feel guilty about doing that, and there's no reason to.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Now, with the fitness piece, I know that working out can be an outlet, and it's a healthy outlet. You're not hurting anybody. You get your body, your mind, body, spirit. Your organs are loving it. Your blood pressure is loving it. Everything. So, but I have seen your fitness photos for the bikini competition. If some of the ladies, wanted to get started with that, I mean, was that super, difficult for you? Because, I think you always like to work out with the military background, but you really kicked it up like all the way up.
I
Hmm.
did. I did. So, like I said, fitness has been in my life for a very long time. I've always been athletic, but becoming when I made the decision to become a competitor, yes, it challenged me on many different levels that I hadn't been challenged before, and I had to eat the same thing pretty much for 16 weeks. I ate um, white fish, which usually consisted of either a tilapia or a flounder or a cod fish, and asparagus. With the exception of breakfast, I had turkey bacon and egg whites. But outside of that, every 2 to 3 hours, that's what I was eating: the white fish and the asparagus, drinking at least a gallon of water a day, um, and getting my workout regimens in. They started out 3 days a week, and it increased all the way up to 6 days a week, the closer I got to competition. So it was definitely challenging on
Hmm.
many, many levels. And so for me, now that I implement fitness into my trauma fitness, what we do is, so as you identify your trauma, my way of helping you release that to get delivered is through your fitness workout. So each exercise that you're doing, you are tackling that trauma in some kind of way. So if you're boxing, if we're doing a boxing regimen, it allows you to get that anger out. You're punching your trauma dead in the face. So I make you think of exactly what has been holding you bound, and you use the exercises to slap it right in the face. So that's how trauma fit works. So each push up, each sprint, each everything that you're doing, each exercise, each squat, each is gonna you're going to release more of that trauma in each particular workout, which that's what makes it so unique. And before you know it, people are like, oh, I forgot we were even doing the sets. They don't focus on the pain of your legs or the pain of your body because they are expelling out that trauma.
Hmm. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Awesome. Awesome. So, I know the working out piece is an outlet for you, but what else does Brandy do when when you're exhausted, because sometimes you're too tired to go work out, honestly, let's be real. Um, yeah, so what do you do to like revamp, reboot, rebuild, to get your whole mind, body, spirit back in motion, because sometimes you just got to veg out, right?
Oh my gosh, there's plenty of days. I just had one the other day where I literally drove to the gym and sat in my car for 20 minutes. Didn't want to get out. That's how bad it be sometimes. It's like I got here, but I don't. Do I really want to go in here and work
Mhm,
out? No,
mhm,
I don't. And I've had moments like that, and I try to push through. And I'll go in, and if I can't even complete the 3 sets that I normally do, I'll complete 2. So what happens is when I get to a place of like that, I literally make sure that I take time to rest. I
mhm,
take time to rest, and I'm big on vision. So seeing is believing for me. So I have vision boards that I do all the time in which I can look at to keep myself inspired. What am I working towards? Sometimes you just really, really got to tackle what is the purpose of why I'm doing this,
mhm,
and keep it in front of you. That's whether it's at home, whether you have one for your car, whatever you need to do. Pinterest board that you can pull up on your phone. I literally will put what I'm aiming for in my face when I start to feel that way. The biggest thing though is allowing myself to rest, because when I rest is key, even in the workout field. Your muscles grow the most when you take the time to rest.
mhm,
So working every day, 6 days a week, back to back to back to back, isn't necessarily going to get you the results. Yeah, you're working, but it's in that rest that your body is able to replenish and those muscles are truly able to form. So I'm big on the rest. If you feel overwhelmed and tired, take it. But I'm also big on spirituality. I take time out to just connect with God, connect with the Word, get my music together, and inspire me. I watch what I put into my ears. So um, I'm usually listening to something positive, motivating, inspiring, gospel music, things like that to kind of keep me uplifted. Because believe it or not, soul ties are big. And so what you're putting in your ears is actually is hindering you sometimes with motivation. And so I'm big on that too, because even in healing, we have to be careful about the soul ties that we create, because they can take the motivation away. And I tap into that in some of my trainings. So
wow, that is deep. That is
yeah,
deep. That is deep. And then let's talk about. I know you have this book that's dropping, but
yeah.
what? Yeah, what else are you working on? Anything else you like to share?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So my book that I'm working on, and I'm planning on it, is on the list to come out this year, is just a book about my life. It's where I'm going to really tell people about my struggles and all of my trauma and how I've overcome it. So stay tuned for that. But right now, what I have going is an amazing retreat. It's a healing and fitness retreat I call Trauma to Triumph. And what we're doing is in September of this year, we're going to go to Bali, Indonesia, which is a beautiful, serene place. Oh my gosh, it's just amazing. And what I'm doing is I'm taking a group of ladies there who are interested in healing and interested in starting their fitness regimen and getting healthy, whole, and free. And we're going to go and we're going to do the work. So this is an opportunity for women who are ready to heal, to get away from their day-to-day life, where they can go to a place, change the scenery, let out all the emotions. We're going to identify their trauma. We're going to isolate it. We're going to tackle that thing and get rid of it. We're going to get spiritually connected. We're also going to implement a plan for each lady, and each woman on how to stay consistently healed. A personalized plan. I'm going to give them unique tools and assignments, homework assignments to build themselves an opportunity to not only address the trauma, tackle it, but knowing how when it comes back or when new trauma tries to arise, they have the tools and the resources to shut it down immediately. But
Mhm.
also through that, we're going to be getting healthy, whole, and fit. So each day we're going to be working a different part of the body, which is going to also be implemented in our training. So if we're working on core that day, I'm getting deep down to the core of you. We're going to rebuild your core from the inside out, and then your legs and each part of your body so that you'll be stronger. There's also very unique and purposed excursions during this retreat that's going to allow one to identify with their trauma and their in their fitness journey. So to give you an example, being that Bali is a serene place, they have an excursion that they're known for, this big water excursion that cleanses the soul. So we are going to get identify our trauma. We're going to tackle that thing, and then we're going to purify ourselves in that water. So
Mhm.
that's an excursion that's included in the retreat, that keeps us in line with what we're doing, but allows you still the opportunity to enjoy yourself and enjoy Bali. And
Mm.
there's going to be time for relaxation. There's going to be assignments to help women deal with their trauma. Then we're going to meet together as a group and help each other and support one another through emotions, through hugs, through just a camaraderie of womanhood. And we're going to leave that thing empowered, healed, and ready to go, with ready to absolutely take on life from that point forward. So I am super super excited about that. I'm also working and developing on my online course,
Mhm.
because some women can't make the retreat, but they want the healing and they want the workout regimens. And so I'm working and building my online course, which is going to be a 6-week course, and we tap into healing and fitness as well. But
Mhm.
you also will get 6 weeks of me during that course, where we will gather in a Zoom setting, in a virtual setting, where you can ask questions about the assignments. You can ask me one-on-one questions to help with your healing. And we do fitness workouts together twice a week throughout that 6-week program. So that will be launching soon as well.
I love that. I love that. Yeah.
Yes.
Do you have a date for the Bali retreat
Yes,
yet? You
I
do.
do.
Okay. Okay.
So Bali is September the 20th, 2021 through the 26th. So for 7 days, you're going to be with me. And if I do have the itinerary out on my website, so you can see exactly what you'll be doing, each activity, each day, and the free time that'll be allotted and everything else.
Awesome. Awesome. So yeah, make sure when we're done to put that information down in the comments so everybody can see it. So yeah, I know you're going to give us your information here in just a moment, but before we get to that point, can you give us 3 tips to stay motivated before we log out of here? Because yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
people are going to catch this at different times, but I know you got 3 points for us, 3 bullets that we can just take and take and run with. Yeah, just 3.
absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. So, the first one that I do and that I would recommend is to affirm yourself daily. As a woman of trauma, a woman that has been through many things. It could be depression, rape, it could be suicide attempts, it could be being a fatherless child, anything. You sometimes don't know how to affirm yourself. So, I suggest that you each and every day speak life into yourself, some kind of daily affirmation to go against the trauma or the pains and the emotions that you feel. Your words are very powerful. They are more powerful than you think. And so speaking those affirmations and shutting that negativity down from the start of the day is very, very key. So daily affirmations will be one of them. Molding yourself. And so for me, I am big on words and big on steps. So mold is making opportunity lead destiny. All right. So you want to always make an opportunity to lead yourself into your destiny. So each day, mold in some kind of way. So if something that usually angers you is starting to arise, begin to do it differently. Mold yourself to react differently each day. So you're going to affirm yourself, then you're going to begin to mold yourself to start training yourself to operate in a different light. And eventually it'll come second nature. So then you waking up every day in a positive mood, You're molding yourself to change and become this dynamic, powerful woman that is no longer held down by your trauma. And then celebrate your wins. And it doesn't matter how big or small they may be, you want to celebrate. So oftentimes when people are dealing with fitness, they feel discouraged because they don't see the results right away. It may take a little longer, or the exercises hurt, your muscles hurt. So when you complete one, hey, even if it's one set, even if you didn't get through the entire workout, still celebrate because you got through some of it. So what that does is allow you to get comfortable with hearing compliments. And it gives you also comfortable with complimenting yourself. So you're not looking for validation from others. That way, listen, when I beat this thing, I can go on. What's the next challenge? Then you're anticipating, and you're anxious, and you're driven to do something different because you're going to celebrate. And celebration could be anything. It doesn't have to be. It could be a gift to yourself. It could be to get that ice cream for the week during your cheat meal. It could be whatever you want. It could be a spa day. It could be buying yourself a rose, a flower to make you feel sufficient. Whatever celebration you feel, step outside the box and celebrate big and small.
And I love that you have these mnemonics, like with the stand. Y'all go back and listen to that. She said, show up, transparent, acknowledge, accept, accountable. What was it? Navigate, time to heal. D was demand, direct. What's it? Development,
Directions, development,
destiny. Destiny. Yes, I love these mnemonics. That's how I learn. I don't know, a lot of people. That's how I do my grocery list is mnemonics. But yeah, well, I love it though. I love it. Yeah.
Yes.
So, but if anybody wanted to reach out to you and connect with you and work with you, or even get possibly signed up for your trip to your retreat for Bali coming up in September, how would they connect with you, Brandy? Give your information to the people.
Absolutely. You guys can get all the information that you need about me, the retreat, and email me through www.traumafitness.com. It has everything that you need there, itinerary, everything about the resort that we'll be staying at, the dates, payment options, and things of that nature. Also, there's a Connect Us button there for you to directly get a hold of me through email. If you just want the direct email, you can email me at brandy@traumafitness.com. Also connect with me on Facebook. I'm under Brandy Nicole. And there's also a Trauma Fitness page that you can actually look up and like and join. So yeah, I'm on Instagram as well under Brandy Rob Fit. Yes.
Wow. Well, there y'all go. There you have it. I mean, she's a walking, living, breathing testimony that you can overcome trauma, past trauma. You don't have to live in it. It does not have to be a part of you. So yes, for the rest of your life, but it doesn't have to stop you, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We don't want it to. I could tell you the greatest feeling is once you're healed, you're like, oh my God, I was trapped for so long. You don't even realize that you are until you yourself. And it is absolutely the most freeing thing. I swear.
I can tell that you're free. I can tell. I can see the freedom all over you. But yeah, with the comments, we've had a few. We've had Kat come in. We've had Nicole said that she called it. Clara's on. Stephen. So we've had a few people, but we really don't have any questions. So it looks like everybody just tuning in. So y'all, if y'all catch this on a replay, go ahead and still feel free to drop your questions or contact Brandy with any questions regarding what she's got coming up. So so this has been awesome, Brandy. I wish you continued success. All the best to you. I'm so happy we stayed in touch.
Oh yes, definitely. Yeah. I am looking forward to what is to come for the both of us in 2021.
Same. Yeah, same here. Well, y'all be blessed.
Thank you.
Yep.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.